mommies. Use this if you want to smell like daddy.
You never had to question if you were a man, so why give your money to a corporation that doesn't know if their products are made for men? Try Jeremy Razor's hair and body products. Jeremy shampoo and conditioner are made with tea tree oil to naturally clean and restore your hair and scalp, argan oil to soften your hair and not your masculinity, and aloe vera to moisturize the hair and scalp. It's all paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, and most importantly, 100% woke-free. Not to mention, it smells amazing. Go to jeremyrazors.com and use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. That's jeremyrazors.com. Use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Talks. We have some things I want to discuss today. It's a miracle. Hopefully you guys saw my thumbnail. It's a miracle. San Francisco has solved their homeless problem. There are no more homeless people out on the street. No more drugs, no more crime. It's cleaned up. No more shit on the street. There's no more of that because they solved their homeless problem. And we're going to discuss that today. Also, we have a DUI person. I'm calling her a DUI person. She actually is a DEI person, but she was pulled over by the cops, and she wanted to claim all of the diversity and inclusion, things that you claim. She was all of it in one person. So we'll take a look at that video today on another episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
Yes, once again, if you love that intro music, you could go to scoresomemusic.com and talk to Mike. Mike can make any type of music. He made this music just for me. Once again, that website is scoresomemusic.com, and show Matt some love. Okay, hey, we got Ruben Gonzalez in the house. Big Low in the house. He said, damn, Chawanne, you doing it on every day now. Keep it up. By June, 200K subs. Yes, 200K up in the building. Hanging AZ. Never saw your intro before. I hope you like it. Matt Torrance, he hooked that up for me. Yeah, you guys, we're going to talk about the homeless crisis in San Francisco. We talked about San Francisco before. They have high crime. They have a high homeless problem. They have a high fentanyl problem, drug problem, and they seem to not been able to solve this problem until now. It's just like somebody waved their magic wand over San Francisco and made the homelessness and all the drug addicts disappear. Where did they do with them? Where did they go? We don't know, but they are gone. They're no longer in San Francisco. And this is the reason why. San Francisco is planning some type of convention. And I believe Lord have mercy, Biden, he met with President Xi Jinping, and he's planning to, they're planning to have a summit in San Francisco. So this is on the New York Post. It says drug addicts, homeless plague in San Francisco downtown miraculously disappeared ahead of Biden and Xi Jinping summit. Okay, so all you got to do is bring the president in town and all your problems will be solved. I want to ask what the White House administration, where the hell did you send Little Pookie, Ray, Tank, Tink Tink, and all them that be just zoning out, zombie land? Where'd you put those guys at? You actually solve your homeless problem because you want to look good in front of the very person who's bringing in fentanyl to our community. So I think they got a video to this, not for sure, but yeah, they've been talking about it. Okay, so it's saying, let me make sure you guys could actually see my screen. Hagen AZ, you said gave them a bus ticket and drug money to go to LA. They gave him money, a bus ticket. They sent their asses to LA. Y'all like, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. You got to get the hell up out of San Francisco. I think I saw a video of some guy cleaning up the street. Back in like about two.
Like eating three tacos.
Okay, you just eat 2 tacos and put one on a different plate and put it in the microwave.
Okay.
This was a while back where I saw in the news they had a job opening for sanitation workers, and it wasn't the type of sanitation workers that you think about. Is like, and this is San Francisco. It was for people keeping the street clean, but you have one particular job is to pick up the poop because drug addicts was shitting in the street. Drug addicts was shitting in the street, and it got so bad they hired people. Your specific duties was to clean up the poop, and this was in San Francisco. And I believe it's still a job. They was paying like $80,000 a year. Cisco. Let me see. So let me just share this with you guys. Now, this is on CBS. They said they're attempting to clean up the street. Now, this was 2 days ago, but New York Post, they said, okay, they miraculously cleaned up the street. So on this video, they're showing actually people like clearing out the tents, sweeping, whatever they got to sweep, and cleaning up really cleaning up the street to make San Francisco like the greatest place to go, which it was like years ago, but not anymore.
In areas around the conference, our Leslie Gooden looked into where the unhoused are going and what is being done to get them help.
Apex is just 2 days away, and many people in the city are getting ready for it. But some advocacy groups say that the unhoused individuals who live in a security zone are being mistreated, and they say the city is not doing enough. I spoke with one unhoused individual who says he was pushed out of that security zone.
Yeah, but this is the 3rd time they came and kicked us out, and then they wouldn't let us put our tents back up this time.
Michael Hudson has been living near Market Street and 12th for the past few months and says he just found out about the APEC conference.
What do you think about the president coming?
It don't affect me either way, man. He ain't doing nothing for me.
He says he was forced to leave where he's been living, and in the process lost many of his belongings.
Threw it on all the trash gets thrown in the back of a big box truck, and then they take it and haul it off somewhere. They're supposed to keep it for us, is what it says on the paper they give us, but when I asked about it, nobody could find any of my stuff.
Michael tells me he wished the city did more to help.
So all they're doing is harassing us more because he's coming. You know, they're coming out here, they're arresting people.
And the Coalition on Homelessness says more assistance should be available for unhoused neighbors living in the security zone for Apex.
We've been pushing to have them open up more resources. And what we've seen is that they've, the main shelter that people can just walk up and get at Dolores Street, they're not letting people sleep there, and they're gonna only have it for folks that are referred out of the Apex zone to sleep there.
Jennifer says they got word about the Dolores shelter plan on Wednesday.
We'd like to see the city add some beds, maybe give some hotel rooms or do a shelter in a church, but add capacity to offset some of the displacement that folks are facing.
We did reach out to the city for comment about these concerns, and
Homelessness displacement. Can you imagine? I'm not laughing. Just imagine, you know how they say, what is it called? When the neighborhood is taken over, quote unquote, by high society, they will necessarily say white folks. What is it called when when it's just imagine that is being done with homeless people. You're being displaced. Yeah, it's just unreal to me. But anyway.
we're told in an email that the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing is not opening any special shelter capacity for APEC. And they stated that the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing does already have some recently funded locations available, such as the Interfaith Winter Shelter, and they will have 300 additional beds that should be available between November and December at 3 additional adult shelters. And for Michael, he's not sure where he will sleep the rest of the week.
They're packing us in like rats over here. And then, but I'm just using that as a place to keep my stuff. So now I come out here and I still stay out here because I don't want to live there. I'm not going to live in a little dorm where everybody's sick, coughing on everybody and stuff.
Leslie mentioned an overnight winter shelter that was already in the works. It's set to open tomorrow at Natoma and 8th Streets with 30 spots available.
An inch and a half for the city, 2 inches for Santa Rosa, inch and a half for Santa Cruz. That part
my
of
bad. Is hilarious when you solve a homeless problem or not necessarily solve it. They like who was that hanging AZ? They told him to go to LA. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here because the president is coming. The president is coming to town with the president of China. Like, it's just like you are trying to make yourself look good in front of China and your Chinese people. And all the while, you shouldn't even be inviting them here. Because half of the problem that we're suffering right now is because of China. Anyway. Let me just share this article with you. It says drug addicts, dealers, and homeless who have plagued the San Francisco downtown have miraculously disappeared this week as the city cleans up the huge international event. Sources tell the Post that the homeless have been pushed to other parts of the city in preparation for the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, APEC Summit, which starts tomorrow, runs through November the 17th. However, residents and business owners said city officials' attempts to herd transients and drug addicts is only a band-aid to severe problem of drug overdoses continue to plague the city. Yeah, it's a band-aid. And we know it is. It's just for show. You're trying to show to these people that we got it together and we don't. And they get access. They have access to the internet. So they know what San Francisco looks like. They already know. City focus on several intersections in the Tenderloin and South of Market or Soma neighborhoods, which is home to some of more concentrated encampments where drug adult people high on fentanyl and heroin can be seen passed out on the streets every day. They started cleaning the tents earlier this week, and there is definitely a lot more police presence. Of course they're trying to make sure that they get it, they put on this facade to the president. No, if the president is coming to your town and you've been telling, hey, this is what's going on and nobody's been doing nothing, you should just leave the shit just like the way it is. I wouldn't clean up nothing. No, we've been asking you for whatever X, Y, and Z. So we're not, this is what we got to deal with since we didn't get X, Y, and Z. Now, the problem is with San Francisco, I hear they've been getting a lot of X, Y, and Z, and they haven't been doing nothing about it. They have a lot of federal relief aid for their fentanyl problem and homeless problem. Matter of fact, I was online the other day and I saw something pop up on my screen, and you could be a homeless, it's not called homeless, it's like a counselor, a homelessness counselor. They're paying them $75,000 a year, $80,000 a year to be a counselor for the homeless people. Counseling for them to do what? Are you actually transitioning these people off the street into a drug rehab place, into a transitioning home? No, they're not doing none of that. And you see how that homeless guy, he was saying, oh, they're harassing me and they're displacing me from my home. No, your home is not the street, the sidewalk. What's wrong with the guy up here? You think you have rights to the sidewalk where everybody else got to walk, and you're being, well, I doubt if there's any businesses out over that way, but you're being a loiter, and you're lording the street. People can't even walk on the street without you guys harassing them or even robbing them. So you don't have any rights to the claim to the street. You guys still haven't gave me that word. I forget when they move into a neighborhood and they raise the taxes or something, make the people leave, buy the houses at a cheaper price, and then they turn it into a different neighborhood. I forget what it's called. It's something. It's not disenfranchised, it's something. But anyway, they started declaring the tents earlier this week, and there is definitely a lot more police presence. A Soma resident and community activist, Ricky Lee Wynn, told the Post. So this is what it looked like. It used to look like this. It used to look like this, but no. And then the lady on the what is it? The lady that we just saw, she was like, they could at least gave them, rooms at a hotel room. Like, what? And you know what? I don't blame her for saying that. They get illegal immigrants rooms at a hotel room. Why wouldn't they give the homeless people a room at a hotel room? Why wouldn't they give them free room and board? You give illegals free room and board. No, but they picked them up and moved them to a different area. They're saying they're expecting 20,000 people. They cleared out all the tents. They were near the Moscone Center and Howard Street, which tells me that the city has the capability to do this all along. Instead, they just do the bare minimum. No, because, you have corruption in your city. If it's ran by Democrats are not going to do what they're supposed to be doing. They're going to say, oh, we need more aid for social programs. And you don't help anybody. You need more aid for social programs and you don't do anything socially besides run to the bank, it looks like. And you buy tents. You buy tents to further the problem or worsen the problem of homelessness. Instead of saying, hey, why are you out here? Let's get you in a house and make something affordable for where they can live, because quite frankly, nothing's affordable for them to live and pay rent. So they're saying once APEC is gone, police presence will start to simmer down again and the tents will return and it will slowly flare up again. What we need is a permanent solution. Among the APEC attendees will be the President Joe Biden, who will meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping, which was announced on Friday. The event is expected to draw over 20,000 visitors to the city by the Bay. Here's the city ordinance. The city and the county of San Francisco will be resolving the encampment listed below on the following date. During the encampment resolution, we will provide access to shelter, safe sleeping villages, and or hotels based on eligibility. What's the based on eligibility? If I can't, what does that look like? Outreach workers from the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing and or the Department of Public Health may also offer psychiatric care, housing assessment, problem-solving assistance, referral for substance use disorder treatment and mental health, and health education, information, and referrals. They said anybody that's camped out on these streets will be removed and taken to the Public Works operation yard. They list the address and they also said they got a number down here. If you want to find your stuff, you could go to and claim it within 24 hours. Or no, for the first 72 hours, you could claim it. 24 hours. And after this first 72 hours, owners can retrieve items Monday through Friday between 9 to 3 p.m. Just imagine you picking up, you're responsible to clean up the homeless stuff. One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? But you know, if you're not a homeless person, you thinking like, shit, all this stuff looks the same. I'm just gonna gather it all up and put it on back of my dump trunk, and then you sit it out, you know, wherever they tell them to sit it. And the homeless guy comes by and say, hey, I'm looking for my stuff. Oh, what did your stuff look like? It had such and such and such and such. And you like, oh, that looked like everything. How are you identifying what stuff is what? Like literally. How would you identify? How are you keeping that stuff together? Are you bagging it, putting it in the bag? You're not putting nobody's name on it. Like, come on now. Let me know, how are they going to identify these homeless people stuff? Big Low said your duty was doo-doo. I'm going to find that listing. San Francisco. Hires pooper scoopers salary. Yeah, this was years ago. Let me show you guys with this. San Francisco has a poop patrol to deal with its feces problems, and workers make more than $184,000 a year. $184,000 a year. They start off with $71,000 a year plus additional $112,000 in benefits. That is crazy. And they just trying to eliminate troubling amounts of feces on the street. That is disgusting. This was back in 2018. So San Francisco been shitty for a long time. San Francisco been a piece of shit for a long time. You guys, you gotta forgive me But this is just so funny to me. Ken, act of kindness, says, "Hi, we're the brown pigs." I'm crying. Oh, I'm crying because I think it's so hilarious. Hanging AZ, free rage pooping. FEMA came out and got them. It's a toss-up between San Fran and Oakland for the most dangerous. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, you don't hear much about Oakland that much. But yeah, you know, it's San Francisco got a problem. Let me see if this video ever play. Oh, it is playing. Let me go back to it.
City leaders are making sure to bring in $53 million, filling hotel rooms, bringing big business. And the city did tidy up for Dreamforce, but this cleanup is much more extensive. While San Francisco is in the spotlight for the Asia Pacific Economic Conference, city leaders are making sure the city shines.
Tourism is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus on.
Tourism ain't your damn business. Why you lying? That haven't been your business for years. Why are you lying to the people?
Making sure that the
If it was tourism was your business, you wouldn't let your homeless people just be tenting out on the street, setting up their tents on the damn street. I saw this one guy, he was homeless and he had a tent that had a lock on it. He had a tent. I'm gonna find it for you. He had a damn lock on his tent.
tourist dollars still come back.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp from the I-80. BART doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often.
The city had gotten a little bit dingy over time.
Scrubbing and power washing is happening all.
The city got a little bit dingy. What the hell is he talking about? Oh my God, you can't make this up. This is unbelievable. I can't believe they're acting like, oh yeah, we're just doing a spring cleaning. Like, no, this is not normal. This shit is not normal.
All over the city.
Yeah, the bottom of my shoes look clean. Like,
it's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares.
having been a longtime resident in the Bay Area, you just naturally start to wonder of like houseless folks being displaced.
Public Works is installing decorative crosswalks in North Beach and Chinatown, and the Webster Street pedestrian bridge in Japantown was recently repainted. The Yerba Buena Gardens at the Moscone Center are decked out with new colorful landscaping and murals, paid for by the Clean California grant, just in time for the 20,000 high-profile CEOs and heads of state coming into town next week. Some people say this should be how it's always done.
What about the people who are here year-round, you know, and like local, hardworking, working-class Bay Area folks?
Others welcome the cleanup.
Anything that brings in a positive look on the city of San Francisco is great.
We will continue to do everything we can to maintain cleanliness in our streets.
Isn't that the mayor? You ain't did shit for the last whatever years, and now you saying, oh, we're going to maintain cleanliness. You should have been doing that from the start. You got the funding. You have the funding. You just refuse to deal with it until somebody show up, like the president of the United States.
And city officials are saying that there are no additional funds that are being allocated for beautification. Departments are just using existing budgets. They also say that...
Yes, hello. They already had the money. They already had the money. They just refused to do it.
Those budgets are being moved so that they can focus on the areas where APEC is taking place. The summit is expected to start on Wednesday, and of course, people will start coming into town over the weekend and early next week. I'm live in San Francisco. Back to you, Julie.
All right, nothing like a little extra motivation to clean things up. Crystal, thank you.
So they already had the money to do it, and they just refused to do it. That's basically what it is. So back to where I was at. It says this area. What area? Let me just go back. Federal employees received a memo back in August to work from home because it was too dangerous to venture into the building, while the dozens of addicts congregate on the concrete steps and seating areas just outside the building entrances. You told your people, federal employees, oh, you might as well just work from home because we can't guarantee your safety. Downtown San Francisco. I skipped this one, you guys. In preparation of the city has taken other steps to clear out the open drug use market in other areas, including the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building on the corner of Mission and 7th Street. And that's where they're saying that they told the people not to show up to work from home because it's too dangerous. And the building is named Nancy Pelosi. If I was Nancy Pelosi, I'd be offended. Don't name that building after me or clean this crap up. The area has been weak. Area has this week been fenced off, and the drug dealers and addicts have moved on to other parts of downtown San Francisco. No, clear out. What do they do with homeless people? Find them some shelter and clear them out. You got the money. They have the money. If you are accepting all these immigrants in and finding shelter for these immigrants, you definitely have enough money for the people of San Francisco. And says Soma residents and business owners Adam Misnick told the Post that he has temporarily housing pop up in hotels for some of the homeless over the past week. It says they are just essentially hurting the problem around, but offering no long-term solution. That is it's a temporary solution because they're just trying to make themselves look good. Okay. Miss Nick said, I'm just outside what they considered the containment zone for Apex. So the problem is getting pushed into my area, which is already pretty saturated with drug activity. I don't know if these tents will be in physical view during APEC, but it will be virtually impossible to eliminate all of that. City officials, however, have not been deterred from trying to hide the blight, according to emails obtained by the San Francisco Chronicles. Christopher McDaniels, the city supervisor of street environmental services, wrote in September the 25th email that particular streets that should be cleared in preparation for the mega conference. With APEC coming, I'm concerned about historical encampments that are close to priority areas. What are priority areas? I guess the priority areas are the APEC zones. Deputy Director in Operations, Dejida Durden, McDaniel's boss, replied and asked about new encampments that popped up near the conference area. Are any of these locations on schedule? Durden asked APEC. is coming, and we need to stay on top of the growing encampments. Do we have a plan? It said by Wednesday, certain areas, including notorious intersections of Van Ness Avenue and California Street, Hyde, Eddy Streets, Taylor, Ellis Streets, were cleared of homeless tents, according to the Chronicle. Mesnick, who owns the deli in Soma district called the Deli Board and runs at Better Soma account on X, called city leaders to take proper actions on city homeless and drug crisis. This is what people see. This is what people see. You're laying down in the street. You got a suitcase. You don't care if anybody steal your stuff because none of your stuff is valuable. You think you own the street. Look at this crap. Just crap everywhere. Discarded syringes lays on the street by the federal building. They have gates. Look at all this trash. It says a homeless encampment of the street as tour participants of the Celebration Tenderloin tour walk through the Tenderloin district on August the 26th. They didn't even clean it up for that. And if I was these people, I wouldn't be coming out. You got to walk through all this crap. Look at this trash. And nobody says, "Oh, this is trash. We're going to clean it up." If you say, "Hey, you can't loiter or bring your trash here," and start throwing people's stuff away, I bet you they won't just leave it there. If that's the only stuff you own and you just leave it there and you come back and it's gone, you won't leave it there no more. You tell all your friends, they threw all my stuff away. You better not leave it. So every time you leave, you'll pack up all your shit. Because if it's not packed out, we just coming over here and clearing it out. Look at it now. Same place is squeaky clean. Misnick said he had discovered 2 dead bodies in his own neighborhood, one right outside of his home. They are very good at creating the illusion that they are very good at performance art. It's a band-aid indicative of poor administration, and really at this point the frustration couldn't be any louder. I've likened this period of time in the Tenderloin like the gold rush, but here it's the fentanyl rush. We have the cheapest fentanyl on the planet, and it's pretty much easy to be highly successful from the bottom. Fentanyl-related drug overdose remain the huge problem in San Francisco. The city is expected to have a record-breaking year of fatal overdoses and is on track to reach 800 deaths this year, according to the data released last month by the Office of Chief Medical Examiner. This was Mission Street before. This is afterwards. You see how they cleaned it up? Why couldn't you do that before? They cleaned up all the paint. You see that paint right here? They cleaned all that up. They cleaned it all up. It said from January through September the 1st and 9th of 2021, there have been a total of 620 overdoses. That means there are an average of 2 fatal overdoses a day, a majority of which are caused by fentanyl. Meanwhile, the city added 300 more beds to its shelter, but it's unclear how many will be available for APEC. The daily allotment will vary throughout the conference, and the homelessness department spokesperson Emily Cohen, but we're making every effort to maximize shelter capacity across for the portfolio for the community to access during the APEC ongoing. Sad. To me, this is sad. They put a band-aid on their homeless problem, and then they're acting like it doesn't even exist to these people. It doesn't exist. Let me get to some of your comments. Hanging AZ said, glad he had a mask. Yeah, that guy, he seemed kind of different. They did the same thing to the people in Tulsa back in the day. Yes, thank you, Abraham. Gentrification. I was looking for that word and I couldn't. I couldn't think. They gentrifying the homelessness. Yeah, how dare them gentrify these people? They ought to be ashamed of themselves. What's the mayor of San Francisco? The black lady. Mayor of San Francisco. She's been in the news before too for her Miss London breed. London breed. She's the first African American mayor in San Francisco. And she was born and raised in San Francisco. She looks pretty young too. She has issued a bold plans and reimagined downtown future to help build 82,000 new homes over the next 8 years to strengthen San Francisco long-term recovery. You're not doing a very good job. She wants to build housing, but none of that matters if you got homeless people everywhere. How long has she been the mayor? Yeah, I guess since 2018, right? Anyway. Yeah, she was voted in 2018. She'd been a mayor, and they had the shit problem since 2018. Breed won the San Francisco mayoral special elections held on June the 5th, 2018. She's been the second Black person after Willie Brown and the second woman after Dianne Feinstein was elected. So it's only been 2 women and 2 Black people. I you know what? That would be my first thing that I would do. Clean up the homelessness. Because you said your city is known for traveling in the tourism. I will not let homelessness stop the economics of San Francisco. I just wouldn't do it. That's exactly what I would do. And people are running against her, I guess. London Bridge versus the Doom Loom. I guess I don't have, because I since I don't have the subscription, they're not gonna let me view it. But anyway, there you have it. San Francisco, they're cleaning up their homelessness. They've been healed. I guess they put a band-aid over their problems, and we don't know if they're going to keep up with this, but probably not. And I wonder where they drove the homeless to. They said other parts of the city, so they're gonna make another place bad where people don't want to live. Abraham said here in our Los Angeles, they'll do the same cleanup for 2028 Summer Olympics. Yeah. 30 degrees Minneapolis cold is here. Tent camps raided back in August. I can't imagine being in Minneapolis and being homeless. That's something. Even here, Detroit, Michigan, I wouldn't want to do it. That's kind of crazy. I'm sure they didn't open up the mental hospitals back up. No, they didn't. Big Low in the Shy, the migrants will see soon how disappear. How to disappear people. They gonna show you a real magic trick in Chicago. The mayor in Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Hanging AC said we had an area in downtown Phoenix called the Zone, and they got ran out. Hanging AZ said can't have the Chinese delegates get mugged. You guys are so crazy. Crazy people. Liberty Twitcher. Tourists don't want to go to San Francisco anymore. No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine wanting to go to San Francisco to tour. Just see what type of sights. You're gonna see some drug addict pushing they dope up they veins, some type of prostitution probably, or you might get robbed. So it's not a place to visit anymore. I mean, I'm pretty sure they still got some okay parts, but I mean, if people come downtown for the tourism, and downtown is overran by homelessness, who wants to be there? Anyway, so we're going to go on to our next story. I didn't share this with you guys last time. This is about Pete Buttigieg. Pete, he's the guy over the transportation department. Remember, I did a story about him. He claimed him and Al Sharpton, the race hustler of the United States of America. They claimed that the roads was made in such a way that black people couldn't really drive on them because the roads is racist. The way the roads are made is designed for black people not to drive on them. That's what the man said. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was before the House, and she's trying to reduce his salary to $1 because he's really hasn't did it.
He has been busy.
He's been busy claiming the roads are racist and having DEI conferences. You're over transportation. The infrastructure. Transportation, that's railroad, highways and byways. Transportation. Is shipping included in his trip? Probably so. But we had 2 catastrophic incidents where the rail cars went off the road. We had one in Ohio where it released some dangerous chemicals. And then we had another one somewhere. You guys put it in the chat. It was some other state that released some chemicals. But the one in Ohio was really bad. And no one visited besides Donald Trump. Donald Trump ended up bringing some water. And I think Joe Biden, I don't think Joe Biden never went there. I got to look it up. But if he did, it was like 4 or 5 weeks later after the accident happened. While people were still trying to get clean water to drink because their water was contaminated. Anyway, but Pete Buttigieg, instead of, trying to beef up the maintenance and reliability of the transportation department, he wanted to have social events about diversity and inclusion. And this is Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about it. That's why she wants to reduce his salary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My amendment uses the Holman Rule to reduce the salary of Secretary Pete Buttigieg to $1. Pete Buttigieg has failed to serve the American people as the Secretary of Transportation. He has been busy calling roads racist, enforcing equity action plans, and implementing climate change initiatives, rather than strengthening our nation's transportation and infrastructure systems and responding to emergencies like the train derailment in East Palestine. He stated, "There is racism physically built into some of our highways. Every transportation decision is inherently, in many ways, a decision about equity." I would argue people driving on dirt roads every single day in rural America may feel that way, but our Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, doesn't care about Americans in rural America. He's more interested in declaring that roads are built on skin color and racism. He also stated, ensuring equity and accessibility for every member of the traveling public is one of the Department of Transportation's highest priorities. Again, I'll point to rural America. In the same month he was sworn in, his department introduced racial equities and barriers to opportunities as a consideration for awarding discretionary grants, as if that's how funds should be awarded. In June 2022, he launched a $1 billion pilot program aimed at helping reconnect cities and neighborhoods racially segregated or divided by road projects. Under this program, over $100 million was awarded to tear down and rebuild a freeway in Detroit because it was considered racially divisive. Taxpayer dollars are being used to cover 80% of the project's funds. He has also intentionally tried to deceive the American people, as shown when a video surfaced of him faking a bike ride to a White House cabinet meeting. The video showed Secretary Buttigieg driving to the White House, but stopping in just enough time for his security detail to unload his bike from the back of the gas-guzzling SUV. He then rode his bike for the cameras to the White House as if he had been riding it all along. What a hypocrite. What a liar. Deserving an taxpayer-funded paycheck is about job performance, not about personalities or identity politics. And let's all recall that Pete Buttigieg was formerly a mayor and was well known as Pothole Pete for not repairing all the potholes in the roads in the town that he served. So I assure you, this is about defunding his paycheck to $1, which I think is $1 too high, for a Secretary of Transportation that is failing the American people when it comes to transportation. While implementing his tyrannical climate agenda through his office and preaching for the government to curb carbon emissions, Pete Buttigieg has reportedly taken at least 18 taxpayer-funded flights on private jets managed by the FAA. One of these flights was taken to receive an award from the Canadian Gay Rights Organization for advancing LGBTQ rights. American taxpayers don't want to pay for Pete Buttigieg to get awards for the way people have sex. That's
Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. Let me just rewind that.
Organization for advancing LGBTQ rights. American taxpayers don't want to pay for Pete Buttigieg to get awards for the way people have sex. That's not what the Secretary of Transportation should be doing. These fraudulent actions of Secretary Buttigieg illustrate that he is not to be trusted in leading our Department of Transportation. While Secretary Buttigieg was taking taxpayer-funded carbon-emitting private jets to receive LGBTQ awards, he failed to serve the Americans in East Palestine, who were devastated by the train derailment and chemical spill earlier this year. In response to why he hadn't visited the community, he stated that he would visit when the time is right. It turns out the time was only right after President Trump visited, brought thousands of bottles of water, and pressured Secretary Buttigieg into visiting, and maybe doing his job. It took our Secretary of Transportation almost 3 weeks to visit after this unbelievable toxic catastrophe. Furthermore, under his watch as Secretary, the FAA was forced to order a ground stop for all air traffic in the U.S. due to a system outage. This was the first time in history the NOTAM system has ever failed, and it was the first time since 9/11.
I forgot that. You guys remember that when they had the they grounded all the flights? Yeah. So she wants to what is it called? Decrease Pete's salary. Now remember, she was talking about how he biked to the White House for this cabinet meeting. Well, that's what she's talking about. He faked his bike ride. You faked it.
Right in a way. I didn't know he'd ride it in the suit. What? I think it's 415.
They probably like, look at this clown. Anything for show. You guys, of course, they're not going to follow him to the White House, but really, you down the street from the White House. You know what? You guys pull over. Pull over on, what's the White House address? 1600 Pennsylvania. Pull over on 1500 Pennsylvania. Pull out my bike and we just bike in like I just rode the bike because we believe in, the Green Deal. Zero emissions. We need to be a champion for zero emission policies. So he pulled he flew in. Number one, let's get this clear. He flew in to and then drove from the airport a block down from the White House. And then he said, okay, it's time for me to bike so I could get the camera so I could make the grand entrance on my bike because we wanted zero carbon emissions. The lies, hypocritical. And we look, and people will be like, oh, he's such a champion for the environment. No, he's not. He's such a champion for the environment. Like, no, he's a clown. This dude is a clown. This dude is a clown. He is a clown. Robert Jordan said any major city that has been run by Democrats for years is a shithole. San Francisco used to be such an amazing city. It's not anymore. It used to be. I'm going to identify as a white. I want the privilege. This is from Christina K's channel. I want the white privilege. San Francisco is Disney World for drug addicts. You guys. Soviet mind said Marjorie is just as bad. You know, Marjorie, she be off the chain though. She be saying some crazy shit. She like aliens. She believe in the aliens. And when that story broke, I know she felt like, yes, I've been proven right. You guys were alien deniers, and now that I proved to you they're aliens, and we had the evidence all along. Matt Torrance, I'm not gonna say what you just said because I don't want to get demonetized, but y'all can see it on the screen. Concrete is gray. Aliens are offended. Right. The aliens are offended. No. Robert Jordan said, I have a street in my neighborhood called Black Twig. It must be a race. Just imagine Black Twig. It's all an illusion. Yep. Good morning from the Netherlands. Good evening from the US. Thank you for tuning in. So we're going to get to this final story. Now, this final story, you thought this first story was funny. This final story, it is hilarious, okay? This lady, she got pulled over by the cops, and she wanted to identify as everything that you could identify as. This is what she wanted to do to avoid getting arrested. I think she was trying to use deflection method, but it didn't work. And the cop was just like, okay, ma'am, there's no reason for you to be afraid. Okay, yes. But this is hilarious. Let me just pull it up this time. Screen recorder. Nope. Is this it? Yep, this is it. Okay, let me get it queued up for you guys. Okay, you can see it. So like I said, this lady was pulled over. She was driving erratically, and the cop decided to pull her over because she was driving crazy. And or maybe not. She said she was turning around in the parking lot, and she got lost, I guess. That's why she was turning around. But the cop was saying, like, ma'am, you said you was turning around, but you're driving reckless.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Why are you driving in the wrong way of traffic?
No, I just got changed around. I just moved here like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just got changed around.
Okay. Do you understand what's going on, though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around and really quick.
Okay.
But I'm sorry.
Do you live here, or are you just trying to...
I just moved here.
No, but do you live here in, like, this apartment complex?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I didn't, but...
So you were just like, hey, I'm gonna turn around by coming in here.
I'm sorry.
Okay. This is your car?
Yes.
I'll look at your insurance,
well,
too.
not my car, but it's my mom's. Because my car got... I'm so sorry.
What happened to your car?
It's with my dad, like...
The first claim she made was social anxiety. Okay, you guys keep track of all the claims that she's making. Okay, I just want you to keep a mental note.
And step out for me, ma'am.
Okay, but...
Do you have any weapons on you or anything I need to know about?
No, but that's the thing is, like, I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay, well, we're past that. Just go ahead and step out. I'll walk you back to my patrol car, and then I'll talk to you right there.
Sorry, just like as an Indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
No.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Can you hear me now? Okay, so we see the first claim that she made was non-binary or social anxiety. Now she's non-binary, okay? Okay, so that's 2 claims that she made.
Like probably 3 drinks.
3 drinks? Okay. Judging by driving wrong way on that street.
I know. That's the other thing that.
Well, hang on. Don't cut me off. Judging by how you're driving, the smell, I need to run you through some tests right now. Okay? That's why I have you out of the car.
That's the thing that I asked about before. I said, okay, so you're just giving me for my registration. And you said yes.
Yep.
And now you're running me for other stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to run you through some tests to make sure you're safe to drive. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to turn off these blinking lights. That way they're not affecting your eyes as I go through your test tonight.
I heard about healthcare.gov on the radio, and with the new law, it was really important. It only took me 30 minutes.
You said you had 3 drinks? What kind of drinks would those be?
Rum and a cider.
Okay. Are we talking like a mixed drink? Are we talking a shot? What are we talking about?
Good evening from the U.S. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, perfect. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both.
Now, this final story, you thought that,
Okay. Stand with your feet together, start touching on the side, just like I am. Hands outside your pockets, please. I'm gonna have you take those glasses off. You can fold them up, put them in one of your pockets. Perfect. I'm gonna be going back and forth with my finger. I don't want you to move your head throughout this test. I just want you to focus on the tip of my finger, only moving your eyes. You obviously have glasses, so there's no contacts in your eyes right now, correct? Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Any recent head trauma, though? You haven't hit your head in like the last month or so? You have? Okay. What'd the doc say?
But I had a little concussion.
Okay, so concussions heal. Any long-lasting effects?
I don't know.
I'm asking you.
I know.
Is there anything that would prevent you from driving that
No.
car? Okay.
Stop it with the madness. Just stop it. Now you got a concussion.
Stand with your arms by your side, please. Okay, so concussions heal. Any long-lasting effects? Focus on the tip of my finger, okay? Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test. I need you to take your glasses off, okay? Focus on my finger. Focus on my finger, please.
I am, but you're.
This is just how the test goes.
I know, but you're exaggerating it more than it needs to be right now.
This is just the test, okay?
I know.
When you stop and look at me, I have to redo a certain portion of the test.
Okay.
So just focus on my finger.
Well, as you know, as an Indigenous person, and there's what going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
How could you?
You're an Indigenous person? What? And what's going on? Because you're Indigenous.
You go back to that position I had you in, standing with your feet together, arms by your side. Stand on my light, if you would, please. Face your vehicle.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. Okay, it's not something that I deal with every day, so I'll have the mistake of the habit, right?
Thanks.
So I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I want you to imagine about a 4-inch wide line. Okay, that 4-inch wide line is just going to go from your right foot completely straight to the back of your car.
Mm-hmm.
Can you picture that 4-inch wide line? Can you picture it? Just a straight 4-inch wide line.
Yes.
Perfect. Hang on.
Do you want me?
I'm going to go over some instructions before you do anything, okay? I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or a turn tonight.
Mental health?
Any physical injuries?
Mental, yeah.
Nothing that would prevent you from just walking and turning. I saw you exit the vehicle. You walked over here just...
She said she suffers from mental illness that would prevent her from walking. This is crazy. Matt Torrance says Indigenous. She's whiter than Sean King. She's whiter than Sean King. This lady is all the isms, all the diversity, all lumped in one. She got PTSD. She has a concussion. She's disabled. She's Indigenous. What type of Indigenous is she? I'm not for sure. Maybe she's claiming that she's an Indian. She's everything.
Can you picture it? Just a straight 4-inch wide line.
Yes.
Perfect. Hang on.
Do you want me?
I'm going to go over some instructions before you do anything, okay? I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or a turn tonight.
Mental health?
Any physical injuries?
Mental, yeah.
Nothing that would prevent you from just walking and turning.
How is mental health physical injury? You guys put it in the chat. Being mentally, I guess, unstable, that will probably be her. Does that prevent you from walking? Then how the hell you get behind the wheel and turn on the car? If you can't walk, you shouldn't be driving either. Really. Come on now. If you have such mental anguish that prohibits you from walking, why should you be driving?
You exit the vehicle, you walked over here just fine, no complaints of injuries.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's all PTSD, depression, anxiety.
I get you.
What else you want?
She said mental PTSD, depression, anxiety. That's what she just said. We're going to repeat it. She said she had mental, I'm going to see if I can slow it down.
Walking and turning. I saw you exit the vehicle. You walked over here just fine. No complaints of injuries.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Mental PTSD, depression, anxiety.
I get you.
What else you want?
Then she said, what else you want? That's what she just said. She said she got mental PTSD, depression, and anxiety. What else you want? She probably in her brain trying to like, what else can I say? What else can I say to make me sound oppressed? Like, what? Woman, if you don't take a whole seat. And he's being such a patient person. I would have just arrested her right away just because she got on my nerves. She's getting on my nerves, so I would have just arrested her. And they probably would have like, well, you couldn't arrest her. Well, prove it. Prove that I shouldn't arrest her because she was driving drunk. She failed the sobriety test. How do you know she failed the sobriety test? Well, she wasn't talking coherently. That's what I would have said.
Well, unfortunately, I'm just asking about physical.
I know.
Okay.
I know you are.
So I want you to go ahead and put your left foot on that 4-inch wide line, just like I'm doing. Now, with your right foot, place it in front of your left in a heel-to-toe touching manner with your arms by your side, just like this, ma'am.
Can you not call me ma'am, please?
I'm trying my hardest.
Okay, well,
Okay.
it means a lot to me.
I'm trying my
I don't
hardest.
feel like a man, so
Okay.
it's kind of triggering.
Right foot in front of your left. Nope, go back. I'm going to place you in a position. Right foot in front of your left, heel-to-toe touching, just like I'm doing. Right foot in front of your left. Heel-to-toe touching, just like I am.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to stop it again. You guys' comments are hilarious. Ken act of kindness, indigenous equal white liar. What? Robert Jordan said, I'm waiting for her to say she got a learning disability. This lady, she is too much. I'm gonna keep on. I got my little rag right here because y'all making me cry. This is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
The whole man thing, just like.
I apologize. Let's see if we can move forward from it. Arms by your side, heel-to-toe touching, just like I am.
Let me just rewind it right quick.
Right foot in front of your left, heel-to-toe touching, just like I'm doing. Right foot in front of your left. Heel-to-toe touching, just like I am.
I'm sorry, but the whole man thing, just like.
I apologize. Let's see if we can move forward from it. Arms by your side, heel-to-toe touching, just like I am. Hold on. I need you to get to this position, just like I am. Right foot in front of your left, heel-to-toe touching, arms by your side. Arms by your side. This is the starting position for the test.
That's what I'm doing.
You were in it. This is the starting position for the test. I don't want you to move or start the test until I tell you to do so. Can you go back to that position for me? Right foot in front of your left, heel-to-toe touching. Perfect. When I instruct you to do so, you're going to do 9 heel-to-toe steps. It'll look like this. 1, 2, 3. But on your 9th step, you'll plant your lead foot. With the foot behind it, you'll do a series of small turns, keeping this lead foot planted. You'll continue down the line. 9 heel-to-toe steps. 1, 2, 3, When I instruct you to start, you'll focus on each step, counting each step out loud. You'll keep your arms by your side, and you won't stop the test at any point until you're completely finished.
Not to defend old girl, but like this is too many instructions. I haven't had anything to drink, and I'm just like, okay, dude, just tell me to walk in the straight line. That's what they normally tell you to do. Walk in the straight line. He's talking about heel to toe touch. Then you do a series of turns. Is this a dancing class? What are you talking about? Like, come on. Is this a dancing class? And so, you hear she's starting to cry because he called her a ma'am. Now she's trying to cry her way out of this ticket. And then now he's over instructing her to just walk a straight line. Like, come on now. When does the madness end?
Understand what I want you to do? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just really anxious.
Okay, do you have 0 questions?
No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like,
I can't take it. No, she didn't. This fool said, I'm just really anxious. I'm finna act it out, you guys. I'm gonna turn the volume down. I'm just gonna say, I'm just really anxious. Okay. No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with my generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Ma'am, you are white. Ma'am, you're white. I'm sorry. You're a white lady. I'll let her act it out for you since she's acting already. I'm just really anxious. No, I'm just really anxious. And he like, ma'am, do you have any questions? Ma'am, is there any questions, ma'am? About walking a straight line?
Okay, do you have 0 questions?
no, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like, it's just a whole new thing.
Hang on, ma'am. I'm asking if you have any questions before I instruct you to start.
Oh, she drunk as hell. You guys see how she walking? She walking like an old lady. She like, why are you walking like this? Why are you walking like this? Why are you walking like you got a hunchback? What is up with that? She got a hunchback when she walking. Like, why are you walking like that? Anyway, you going to jail. You going to jail, ma'am. Ma'am, you're going to jail. I'm sorry. He told her to stop, wait till I say start. And she's talking to herself like 1, 2, 3, 4. He like, hang on, ma'am. Hang on, ma'am. When I say go, you go. She's still walking. Like she old. And then she 1, 2, like literally you probably like 22. And she 1, 2, like she didn't hear him. She just gonna keep on going.
Oh, ma'am. I'm asking if you have any questions before I instruct you to start.
6, 7, 8, 9. Switch around. 1, 2.
All right, I'm gonna bring you back to the first position I had you in, right in front of me, facing me. Facing me. This next test, I'm gonna ask you to lift a leg of your choice off the ground. It's gonna be about 6 inches off the ground. It's gonna be
Just stop it with the test. She's visibly inebriated. Why? I mean, I think it's maybe, I'm not a police officer. Maybe it's a standard. You got to go through 3 physical tests, maybe 4. Maybe you're teetering, or maybe because when you go in front of the court, you say, oh yeah, we had her do 4 sobriety tests and she failed all 4 of them. Maybe. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's true or not, but really, she couldn't follow your finger without moving her head. They don't do they do this anymore? I don't think she did that, but she couldn't do that. And then she couldn't do the walk, step, heel toe, turn around. And he wanted her to do an about face. I'm assuming she couldn't do that. And now you want to do leg lifts. Stop it with the madness. You just doing this for your own entertainment at this point. You know she drunk. You know it. And she's trying to claim all the diversity and inclusion things that she could identify with. She has PTSD trauma. She's indigenous. She has head trauma, mental illness. She had a concussion last week. Her dog ate her homework. Her car was broke down because something was wrong with the oil change. She got a bad oil change, so that's why she's driving her mama car. She was drinking fire bombs. She said she had rum and apple cider or whatever, or some type of cinnamon drink or whatever. She was drinking fire bombs. Come on, man. Now you want her to march. Like, come on. Stop it. Stop it.
with the ground. You keep your arms by your side. You're going to focus on the tip of your toe, counting in 1000s. 1001, 1002, 1003. Your foot and leg will be straight the entire time. Parallel with the ground, leg completely straight. Do you have any questions?
1001, 1002.
Hold on. Go back to the starting position.
4.
Go back to the starting position.
6.
You didn't listen to what I said, did you? You didn't listen to what I said, ma'am.
I know.
I said when I instruct.
Proving to you.
Well, I said when I instruct you
I
to
know,
start.
and right now I just harassed. So.
Okay. I said when I instruct you to start.
Can you just count now?
You're going to continue to
I am
count
getting harassed.
until I tell you to stop.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and begin. Pick up where you left off, ma'am. I didn't instruct you to stop yet.
You said until 1006, 1010.
It's not what I said. All right, you go ahead and stop. I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back.
Dude, don't. Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
No. You're going to get a resistance.
Dude,
You're going to get a resistance. Okay?
don't.
Don't resist.
Don't.
Listen to me. Don't resist.
Don't. You're being a white man and
You guys, when he's talking, it sounds like he's trying to come in for a kiss. Don't resist. Don't resist. Come on. Don't resist. He's all calm. Don't resist. I'm coming in there. I'm coming in for a kiss. That's how he sound like. Like, really? Ma'am, let me just talk. Come over here. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. He's all calm. And she was like, no, dude, you're a white man.
I'm gonna bring you back to the first position I had you in, right in front of me, facing. You didn't listen to what I said, man.
I know.
I said.
So.
Okay. I said when I instruct you to start.
Can you just count now?
You're gonna continue to count.
I am being harassed.
Until I tell you to stop.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and begin. Pick up where you left off, ma'am. I didn't instruct you to stop yet.
You said until 1006 and 1010.
It's not what I said.
Okay.
All right, you go ahead and stop. I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
Why he's just telling them, I'm going to speak with you right over here, ma'am.
Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
You're going to get a resist.
Dude,
You're going to get a resist. Don't resist.
Don't resist.
Listen to me. Don't resist.
Don't. You're being a white man and don't. I followed all of it. Like,
don't resist.
No, I followed all of it.
Don't resist.
I followed all of it. You fucking
Don't resist. Hey, give us your hand.
As an indigenous person like you guys.
Really? I'm an indigenous person, like fuck you guys. So that gives you the right to drive on the road sloppy drunk because you're indigenous. You're trans indigenous, really. You're trans indigenous because that's what you feel like on the inside.
So you're to be placed under arrest for driving on the.
No one says when they get pulled over that the race of them. Oh, what they normally say, oh, you doing that because I'm a black man. It's something, she could have said, oh, you doing that because I'm indigenous, but nobody called themselves indigenous. Number one, who calls themselves that? Are you an Indian? Is that what you're trying to tell us? And you're being a white man, and he's sounding like a creepy cop talking about don't resist, whispering. He was all calm. Don't resist. Like, really? I guess he was trying to be all calm, so because she was being crazy.
What's tonight, ma'am? What do you have in your mouth?
Nothing. Ew.
What do you have in your mouth?
Nothing. You guys are just scaring me.
Lift your tongue. Lift your tongue for me.
You guys are scaring me.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yes, there is. It's generational trauma.
Okay, walk around my video. Have a seat.
No.
Have a seat.
I mean, I will, but like, can I just see you guys? It's about somebody who suffers from generational trauma, PTSD, and depression and suicidal tendencies.
So she adds suicidal tendencies into this. I'm curious if she's ever been arrested by the cops before. I'm just curious because now she has suicidal tendencies. They should have took her to the mental, well, if they even had mental institutions, but this is in New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe she is indigenous. Maybe she's an indigenous Mexican. You think? But who goes around saying that? Like, I'm indigenous, so you get a free pass on doing whatever you want to do.
You go around.
Do you want me to put it in for you so you don't feel guilty?
I have this guy for that.
Douchebag.
$5.45 to go.
Why would he feel guilty about arresting you? He's taking you off the road so you won't end up crashing into some vehicle because of drunk driving. And why would he feel guilty about doing his job, lady? Why? Why would you say that? Anyway.
Oh, that 41, 10:15, 10:47. Not free and clear. On my watch, 0254 hours. I'm gonna read something to you real quick. Listen to me, I'm about to tell you something important. You're under arrest for driving under the influence of intoxicating alcohol and or drugs. The New Mexico Implied Consent Act requires you to submit to a breath test to determine the alcohol content of your blood. After you take our test, you have the right to choose an additional independent test. If you choose to take this additional independent test, you have the right to a reasonable opportunity to arrange for a physician, licensed nurse, or laboratory technician or technologist who is employed by a hospital or physician of your own choice to perform an additional chemical test. The cost of this additional test will be paid for by the law enforcement agency.
I see you're shaking too, because your anxiety is bad, just as mine.
Do you want me to repeat that paragraph for you?
Yes, that's what I did.
So if you choose to take this additional...
Now she's trying to diagnose the cop. Stop it, lady. Stop it with the madness.
independent test, you have the right to a reasonable opportunity to arrange for a physician, a licensed nurse or laboratory technician or technologist who is employed by a hospital or a physician of your own choice to perform an additional chemical test. The cost of this additional test will be paid for by the law enforcement agency, which is the New Mexico State Police. Do you agree to take our test? It's a yes or no.
I don't know right now.
So I'll continue on. I cannot force you to take our test, but if you refuse, you will lose your New Mexico driver's license or non-resident operating privilege for 1 year. If you're convicted in court of driving while under the influence, you may also receive a greater sentence because you refuse to be tested. Do you understand? Your right to speak to an attorney or remain silent does not apply to the requirement of the New Mexico law that you take a breath test.
I include people with mental problems or no.
Do you now agree to be tested?
I'm just asking if it also implies that people...
Applies to anyone and everyone that's arrested for driving under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
So do you...
She's trying to get out of it. She's trying to say, oh, I have mental problems. Does it imply to me? Yeah, you was driving drunk. This is a little bit on the ludicrous side.
Agree to be tested.
No, I'm just...
It's a yes or no, ma'am. I'm asking for 2 breath samples.
No. Can you read back the last 2 paragraphs?
The what?
I said read back the last 2 paragraphs because I am severely depressed, so...
So I'm requesting you submit to a breath test. If you choose, you can request an additional chemical test. That will be paid for by us, the law enforcement agency. I'll give you a reasonable opportunity to arrange for that to happen tonight. If you refuse, like I said, I cannot force you to take our test, but if you refuse, you'll lose your New Mexico driver's license or non-resident operating privilege for 1 year.
Okay. So if I get a lawyer that does that also...
So your right to speak to an attorney or remain silent does not apply to the requirement of the New Mexico law that you take a breath test.
There you go.
So do you agree to take our test?
No, I want a lawyer.
Okay.
So there you have it. She got arrested. And for drunk driving, but she tried to claim all the diversity groups, disability, head trauma, PTSD, um, indigenous. She's scared of white folks, even though white men and cops, even though she's a white person. What else did she claim? She claimed all the things that you could claim. And then she tried to put her generational trauma on to the police officer because he was suffering. Well, she said he was suffering from anxiety. His anxiety was messing up. I guess that's what he said too. I have anxiety too. And also she was non-binary. She tried to freak out of him calling her she, but then that didn't fly because he did call her she that very last time, and she was so inebriated. She forgot to put on her performance. Anyway, this lady was a trip. This lady was a trip. Ken, act of kindness, just had straight cider. I think she said she had some rum too. She's in Den jeans. Grandpa medicine, drunk. Maybe that beanie is too tight around her brain. I don't know. She's thunder walking right now. Ken said, LOL, the white man made her drink too much. Yes, because you got to blame the white man. Natives know not to drink that fire water. Right. Looks like she is drunk on donuts. Stop it. Stop it. I'm surprised she didn't. I'm surprised she didn't claim that too. You're arresting me. You're trying to fat shame me. She could have claimed that. You trying to body shame me. That's what I would have said. You trying to body shame me. She's bringing shame to her tribe. Oh boy. Victim mentality personified. The tribe of drank a lot. She identifies with grandma's couch, you guys. The mentally ill take offense, have her part of the group. LOL. She needs 1-800 pothole P. Oh my God. She talk with the drunk tongue. She does. Hanging AZ said, I bet she smelled like tomato soup and mothballs. What is that about? I wonder if she was driving on those racist roads. She probably was. See, those roads are racist. Cause her to drive, fail her sobriety test. Those sobriety tests are BS for sober people. Yes. Her Indian name is Dancing with Zima. LOL. Yeah, she was all over the place. We're gonna pray for her. Hopefully she has a speedy trial. But they said in Mexico, I guess they're pretty strict about drunk driving. I think it's strict everywhere about drunk driving, but they're forcing people to take a sobriety test. If you don't take the sobriety test, you could lose your license. That's kind of weird. What's in Michigan, I think you don't have to take the breathalyzer test. But if you've refused the test, they can put a charge on you. But you could take the blood test. But I think you have to pay for it. I forget how it works. But anyway, it's not like I'd be going around drinking and driving, but she could have just asked her mom to come and pick her up or take a Uber. It's Ubers everywhere. Like, you wanted to drink and drive, take a Uber. But some people don't think they'll get caught drinking and driving. Oh, I'm fine. I only had 5 drinks. She admitted to having 3 drinks. She probably had 6. Her last name is not Warren. I don't know what her last name is. Abraham said her tribe renamed her Girl with No Horse since she lost her license. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. Thank you for tuning in once again. You guys like, subscribe, share this video. I'm heading off. I'll be on tomorrow around 5:30. So tune in tomorrow. We'll be talking about something. I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you soon.